Regret is a terrible thing. The relentless nightmares, just the knowledge that I've devastated so many lives keeps the pain in my heart fresh and constant. I cannot clean this stain off my soul. It's not something you can switch off. This is forever. I'm certain that very shortly I'll be going to jail. This, of course, scares me a lot. A friend of mine, we go for different footy teams. I'd ring up during the day at work and tell them, you know, we've got to get together and watch our teams play. My team won. I was rapt about it, and mate was getting pretty upset. It's good to give him a bit of a stir. And after that, we sort of played a few games of pool. Didn't really think we were going to stay there after the games, but we headed straight home. But stayed there for a few hours longer.
Neil was never a drinker or a smoker, and he was one of the safest drivers I can say that I've ever been with.
It was Christy's birthday, and Christy loved Shannon Knoll. So that was Neil's birthday present for Christy. They went off to the Shannon Knoll concert.
I knew we were going out, and I just assumed we were actually going out for dinner, but instead we went out and went to the Shannon Knoll concert, which was a huge, huge surprise for Neil, knowing that I'm a huge Shannon Knoll fan and still am today.
They had a lovely time. So then they headed off to go home.
We took off that night. I was still very much in a good mood. And I was still steering about the footy, just being mates. I was just going to go straight from the pub back to my mate's house, which is really just around the corner. But on the way we decided, we'll keep going past your place, get some food and head back. The next instant, we both hit the face with airbags. It was a massive shock for me. I didn't know what had happened. And then I had a look around, and I saw the other car was up in the nature strip. I ran over to them, and as I got closer, I could see that the car was actually wrapped around a pole. I asked the people around me to please call the ambulance. Someone yelled out that they already had. Tried to stay with the young lady, tried to make sure she was a little bit comfortable until the ambulance arrived. You know, I didn't, and she was just kept calling out for her husband. I didn't.
Grim. You know that word? Grim? Sad and sombre, that one. Yeah. Anyhow, you can see, ordinary person suddenly in a terrible and extraordinary situation. But ordinary people speaking, different people usually. In any one show there'll be 5 or 6 different people, and you get different voices and different accents. So I mean, I'm just selecting out some of the language there. So the whole thing's called collision course. That's a collocation. If you're on a collision course, you're going to collide, crash. He says, yes, having done this, it can reduce someone to tears, make someone cry. Collocation. It's a stain on my soul. Collocation. Now, then we get a little bit of slang here. His footy team won, so he was wrapped. That doesn't mean like wrap a present, and a lot of natives will spell that wrong, like wrapped, like a wrapped present. Different. Not wrapped. I'd say the majority probably would get that wrong. That's the spelling of wrap. If you know the word rapture, it's like incredible excitement. It comes from that word. So really excited. You know, the woman, she's got quite a stronger accent, the young woman. She says they headed off. Phrasal verb? Yeah. Let's head off, let's leave. Some of you may know it, some of you may not. And this one, So that's definitely slang, and that's slang. I was stirring him. If you stir somebody, you sort of disturb them, but in a way to get a laugh. So you disturb, kind of tease.
Tease.
Yeah. The nature strip, you know this term of on a road? You know, the side, or the centre bit, that's got a bit of green on it, like some lawn, or the side, where there's the footpath, the concrete bit people walk on, and then the little bit of lawn, that's called the nature strip. So the car ended up on the nature strip. It's a strip, it's got a bit of nature on it. Yeah.
Why when you say it, you have to say nature strip? Why can't just say up to the curb? When you speak English.
You could say the car landed up on the curb, but
Yeah.
but you know, some curbs don't have that. Sometimes they're just concrete, aren't they? He's just describing it more precisely. In this case, there was a bit of grass there or lawn. Yeah.
What does it mean with the stain on my soul?
Well, that fellow speaking to the school, he's saying, you know, killing the memory of killing this person. It's a stain, like a mark on my soul that I can never get rid of. So that's a collocation used in many contexts. So look, we can see there, just in a few minutes, 4 minutes or so, quite a lot of language there. Now, just trying to find. Ah yeah, here. So you go down to the bottom, click transcript, and there it all is. You've got all that slang and all those idioms there. My guess is it's half an hour. So you've got a very rich resource of ordinary people speaking a lot of these idioms, slang and so on, little phrases and sayings and so on. And as you can see, a range of voices, and some will be clear and some will probably have quite broad accents. And sometimes, that young woman, what's her name? Christy, by the look of it. Whenever she speaks, I think some of her speech will probably be a little harder to understand. So it's just getting used to that voice and that accent. So listen to it, and then go back and read the transcript. Yeah, and then listen to it again and read the transcript, and get used to that accent and analysing it in terms of, you know, what she actually said. I reckon this is one of your best resources for Australian English and getting used to listening to it. Yeah? So it's quite different from a lot of the other stuff on the ABC, which is much more, you know, your middle class educated voice, and people, like often academics who are invited on and they're used to projecting nice clear voices in lecture theatres and so on, you know, or media communicators. What you're getting here is much more like how the majority of people are speaking, and the kind of colour in their language.
John,
Yeah.
why are we reading the transcript if we listen to the
Yeah.
record? Is that alright?
What I would do is, I've mentioned before that with something like this or anything, try to listen without the transcript first. See how much you can get. You could do it in parts, or you could listen to the whole thing. Often it's good to listen to a whole thing, because you might learn something at the end that helps you. If you listen again a second time, and still without the transcript, you know more about the topic. So when you listen again, usually there's a big jump between first and second listening. So I would certainly listen twice, and probably about 3 times. Probably that third time a little bit less. But when you start to get less change each time, then say, okay, now I need to go and check the transcript. But I would always push yourself as far as possible on your own resources and your own listening strategies before you go and check. Yeah. Look, what I'll do is I'll switch you guys back so that you can practice just finding your way there. I'd like you to try to find your way to Australian Story. So through the Moodle, go to the Moodle, You go to ABC Radio National if you like. You can just Google ABC Australian Story, you'll get it. But what I want to make sure you can do is that you can not only get to Australian Story and the program that's playing this week, or the last couple of weeks, but you can get into past episodes, because there are dozens of them, and pick something from about 2 years ago, get in there, have a bit of a listen, just 3 or 4 minutes, and make sure you can click on the transcript and you've got the transcript. So I know in the next 10 minutes that you can manage this resource and you can use it at home. Alright? Have a go at that.